Alright, what is good, everyone? I want to get right into this Week 15 football, but I am just going to say real quick, this is going to be a weekly series that I do. I'm just going to break down my thoughts on all the games, my thoughts on the teams, best teams in the league, and like Super Bowl chances, but I don't want to spend a lot of time in an intro, so I'm going to get straight into Thursday Night Football, Falcons at Buccaneers. What a game. Things we learned from this game. Big Kirko is indeed still him. Now, the Falcons are, unfortunately, and honestly, if they made the wild card, I could see them having a chance at knocking out a team. It's any given Sunday, to be honest. But the thing about Kirko was he's been shaky for a couple weeks. Like, he's had some really good performances this year and some not so great performances. Against the Bucs, he had 68.2% completion percentage on 373 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and no INTs. That is ridiculous. Bijan continued to be a top 6 RB in the league. And honestly, you could argue him from anywhere from like 6 to 3 in my mind. I think that top tier of running backs is Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, and James Cook for sure. But that's enough about the Falcons. They played amazing. On to the other half of the field, though. Baker Mayfield, the fall off of Baker Mayfield needs to be studied. To be honest, he didn't even play a terrible game. For most of the game, he played pretty like solid. Not like MVP Baker like he was for the first 4 weeks, but like he's playing quality quarterback play until that fourth quarter interception was awful decision making. It gave the Falcons what they needed to come back. But yeah, other than that, he had 277 passing yards with 2 touchdowns on 56% completion percentage. That's not bad. Even though they lost, though, I do still think they're going to make the playoffs. The Panthers just lost to the Saints, and Mike Evans is back, and honestly, they're getting a lot of people that they didn't have midseason back off of injury. So if they just clean up their games, they have an easy playoff spot. All right, now into the noons game, though. First up, Bills versus Patriots. In my opinion, the Buffalo Bills are the hottest team in football right now. They've won 4 out of their last 5 games, and 4 of those teams are playoff teams. Josh Allen is also very clearly out of his quarterback slump. He's put 2 back-to-back MVP performances. This week he had 241 total yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Just phenomenal football. In their offense, I mean, James Cook continues just to be a freaking dog, bro. He had 111 total yards on 4.8 yards per carry and 3 total touchdowns, bro. Like, when you have James Cook doing that and Josh Allen doing that, virtually no one is stopping that offense, and their defense is good enough that they'll just win games with that performance. Like, the Bills are so hot right now, bro, and honestly, I would not want to play them in the playoffs because they could definitely make some noise, especially with no Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow going to be in the playoffs. Josh Allen might make some noise, man. But the Patriots. So the Patriots came into the week with a lot of uncertainty. They have had a very easy schedule. They're second in the AFC. They have 10 straight wins, but they are a young team. Drake May was like widely considered second in MVP voting before this week. I don't know if he would still be that. Probably not. He only had 198 total yards this week, no touchdowns, and an interception. Still 60% completion rating, but not like a stellar performance in a game that was it wasn't a must-win, but it was like all right, like starting to raise a couple flags. I'm still really high on the Patriots. I think they're a great team. They played poorly, but like once it gets to the playoffs, it's one game like that, you're out. Like, they gotta strap things down. Make sure they can play quality football against a good team. They had a 21-0 lead, and they blew it. And last thing I'm going to say is TreVeyon Henderson is a future star of the NFL. 161 total yards, 2 touchdowns, 10.6 yards per carry. This dude is unstoppable. This is insane. Ravens at Bengals. Okay, there's honestly not much to say about this. 24-0 blowout in favor of the Ravens. The only thing I'm really going to say, the Bengals looked flat out awful. They did not get it done at all in the red zone. Right now, the team just kind of feels like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins against the world, although Joe Burrow did play off that game, I'm not going to lie. But like they just have no supporting cast. They have no offensive line. They still have a below-average defense. I mean, there's nothing there for them. It's just them 3. I think they have to get rid of one of those 3 players, clear up some cap room, and actually start building a feasible offense. Just for the Ravens, it was a sloppy win, but in December, wins are all that matter. So it was a good game. Lamar played average, only had 12 attempts, but 150 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Derrick Henry looked awesome again. If they can keep that up, the Ravens are always a scary team if they're in the playoffs as well. So, Jets at Jaguars. Now, The only thing I want to say really about the Jets is, yes, they are in tank mode. They're in like rebuild mode. But rookie quarterback Brady Cook, I seen some potential in him, bro. 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions on 66% completion. Like, is that an impressive game for like an average NFL quarterback? Not really. 3 INTs to 1 touchdown is definitely not ideal. But if you watch the game, you could definitely see like that kid was kind of like dialed. Like, he's putting on a performance. And I mean, I feel like that's the best quarterback play we've seen from the Jets. And he's a rookie, so he has some potential. I'm not gonna lie. That's like a a bright spot in a very, very dark room for the Jets. Other rookie played well. Isaiah Davis, running back for them. He had 65 total yards, 1 touchdown, 6.4 yards per carry. It's just a great game from another rookie. But moving on to the more important team, the Jaguars. Trevor freaking Lawrence. Where did this game come from? 381 total yards, 6 total touchdowns, and 63% completion percentage on 0 interceptions as well. He led the Jags with 48-20 win, bro. If the Jags play like that, Trevor Lawrence is that confident, Travis Etienne is that dialed. Like, dude, that's a playoff team right there. That was a playoff performance from the Jacksonville Jaguars that we just saw, and everyone was like kind of like shaky because, oh, Trevor Lawrence is kind of inconsistent sometimes with accuracy, and he misses balls that he should have hit. Like, BTJ is having a really down year. This team looked insane. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, speaking of BTJ though, the receiving duo of Jacoby Myers that they picked up and BTJ was insane. They had 9 catches, 137 yards, and a touchdown between them, bro. Like. And ETN played insane. He's a top 10 RB in the league this year after he had a terrible season last year, and now he's back to top 10. Like, don't sleep on that Jags team, bro, because they could make some noise in the playoffs. Cardinals at Chiefs. Now, here's everyone wants to celebrate. Chiefs are officially knocked out of the playoffs with a 16-13 loss. But one thing I do want to say, obviously we're all happy about that, but Patrick Mahomes suffered a torn ACL, which should be wished on no man. I literally, after the game, I went on TikTok, and I saw so many people who were like, Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. They were celebrating, bro. Like, if you genuinely are happy that Patty Mahomes tore his ACL, there's something wrong with you. Like, he's the closest person we've ever seen to Tom Brady and might ever be close to Tom Brady. And, like, if you're celebrating him tearing his ACL, that's just so fucked up. I feel so bad for bro. But Chiefs are out of the playoffs with that loss. And honestly, I think their roster is kind of terrible. They have 3 of the same receiver in Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Rashee Rice. They need to get rid of like 1 or 2 of them. Rashee can definitely be a wide receiver 1, but they just have no like uniqueness about them. Their RBs are super unimpressive. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco's never been the same after his injury. They need to draft a rookie tight end soon, I think, too. Travis Kelce's not going to be in the league much longer, and honestly, his last 2 seasons have been very unimpressive as well. And their defense just has so many major holes. Chargers, on the other hand, moved to 10-4 and are the 5th seed in the wild card. Herbert played solid with 210 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And honestly, they're getting some injuries back. They got their star rookie, Omarion Hampton, is returning. Gadsden's back, and they have a bunch of studs on their team. And this is another one of those teams where it's like there's a little bit of uncertainty about them. Herbert's never really done anything in the playoffs, but if they could stay healthy for the rest of the season, stack some more wins in December, the Chargers are no team to sleep on, bro. Cardinals at Texans. The main thing I wanted to mention this game was, goddamn, have the Texans figured out how to play football. They have a top 3 defense in the league, if not top 2 or top 1. Their offense is clicking so well with C.J. Stroud. Now we starting to figure it out. Woody Marks stepping up as a rookie, and honestly, they got Dalton Schultz, they got fucking Nico Collins is balling this week. Like, they looked unstoppable. The thing I've been saying is the 2 hottest teams in the league by far are the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. Like, are there better teams than them right now? Yes, but the point that they were at both of those teams were at such a low, and the Texans are playing playoff football right now, bro. I'm excited to watch both of those teams, but shouts out to the Texans. On the other side of the ball, though, we have the Cardinals, and they just continue to struggle, bro. Like, if you are a Cardinals fan, though, don't even, I don't know. I feel like this team has some potential, bro. They have so many bright spots. They have Trey McBride, best tight end in the league. Michael Wilson, over the last 2 weeks, is just turning into a star. I'm a big Michael Wilson fan. Will Johnson on defense and Marv Harrison. Like, you guys got some really good young players. Jacoby Brissett is at quarterback, and honestly, I feel like he's been playing super solid this year, but I don't think Jacoby is a starting quarterback or should be a starting quarterback in the National Football League, at least consistently. You need to fix some holes in your O-line. Their defense needs some serious revamping, but honestly, bro, this Cardinals team is not bad. They just lost like 7 out of their first 8 games by 1 score. Like, just not closing out. Might be a head coach issue. I'm not too sure about that. I don't watch a lot of Cardinals football, but I'm a fan of their team. They just got to lock in. They got to make some changes. All right, now we got we have Browns at Bears now. Shedeur Sanders played terribly. 18 for 35, 177 yards, and 3 interceptions. No tutties out of the day. I mean, at the end of the day, the Bears have a very turnover-heavy defense, and in my opinion, the Browns coaching room is terrible. Like, I don't see any of them. I'd be surprised if they all don't get fired this year, but it's without a doubt the Browns have the best rookie core in the league. They got Shedeur, they have Judkins, they have Fannin, they have more people, Schlesinger. That, I mean, they have so much potential on the team. They need to clean out the coaching staff, bro. And next year, they actually genuinely could be a decent team. The Bears, though, they looked phenomenal. Caleb Williams might have had his best performance of the year, at least, like, just accuracy-wise. Like, he was throwing some fucking missiles. And Caleb Williams is one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. He was 17 for 28, 242 passing yards, no interceptions. I mean, if Caleb is throwing the ball accurately and he's making plays, he could easily be the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, he's so good at getting out of sacks. He's clutch. And dude will pull up with a matcha and wired earbuds and shit on your favorite team. And Ben Johnson, people are saying Mike Vrabel's coach of the year. I just disagree. Ben Johnson should win coach of the year, and it shouldn't even be close. I mean, his running schemes, all of his play schemes are so insane. And this Bears roster, this was supposed to be like almost like a rebuild. Like, not a rebuild year for the Bears, but this was like, okay, we're going to get it figured out. And next year, once we get, everyone's used to the Ben Johnson offense, you got I can't remember their defensive coordinator's name right now, but they're going to get synced up. And next year, maybe get a free agency signing, maybe get some good draft picks. And then they're locked in for next year. Ben Johnson's literally taking this Bears team, what are they, 10-4 right now, I think? And they're a legitimate playoff contender. Some people are like, the Bears are frauds. I don't think so, bro. I mean, the Bears can break down anybody, bro. At the end of the day, if the Bears want to win playoff games, it's going to come down to Caleb Williams. He's shown in many games this year that he doesn't have the accuracy for it. But his last, 3 or 2 weeks, he's been on it. So if Caleb Williams is throwing footballs and no one's stopping their run game if they have passing game to go along with it. So Bears are scary, bro. Afternoon games, I want to start with Colts versus Seahawks. The grandfather Phillip Rivers came back after sitting on his couch for 5 years. Long story short, though, he just looked terrible. I mean, if you can look at the stat sheet, you can literally see he threw all checkdowns. He was averaging I think it was 6 yards per completion. It was just straight checkdowns. He looked so uncomfortable out there. I mean, it might have been one of the most unathletic performances I've ever seen, but yet somehow they lost to a walk-off field goal against the Seattle Seahawks, who are a top 5 team in the NFL. Unfortunately, though, if you are a Colts fan, let's be real, bro. Y'all don't have any chance of winning the Super Bowl since Daniel Jones got hurt. Like, if Daniel Jones was still healthy, and even though you were on the downward trend before he got injured, if Daniel Jones was healthy, there's still a chance. They actually had a great roster and a great coaching staff, but yeah, I mean, Riley Leonard isn't getting it done, and Phil Rivers for sure isn't getting it done, so that sucks. And Seahawks on the side of the ball, they didn't play a good game. Sam Darnold, though, continues to do what he does. That's spam the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba, but if I were him, I would not do anything different. He's a top 2 receiver in the league, probably top 3. But yeah, Sam Darnold continues to look like a very capable quarterback, and their defense is spectacular. So I'm very high on the Seattle Seahawks. Now the game that everybody has been waiting for. Just kidding, no one's watching this shit. But Packers versus Broncos, bro. I think I said this in the intro. I'm a Packers fan. I did just find out that Christian Watson got hurt, but like he's not out for long. He's day-to-day right now, so he might be back for the Bears game this week. But if he's not, then he'll be back the next week. But Micah Parsons, torn ACL. It hurts my heart to still say this. He's out for the year, and he's out for part of next year for sure. I mean, he's probably the second best defensive player in the league. If not, he's top 5. But had the most pressures in the league. He had, I think, 13.5 sacks. And moving on to the game now. As shitty as that is, the first half, let's break it into first and second half. First half, Packers outplayed the Broncos in every way. We scored on every possession. We forced a fumble, forced 3 and outs. Like, we looked unstoppable. And Jordan Love played amazing in the first half. Josh Jacobs was on fire. Like, our entire team was clicking. Second half, though, I can't even say what happened. Now, it was a mixture for the Packers of terrible play calling from Matt LaFleur. We had a 9-point lead going into the third quarter. Josh Jacobs was averaging over 5 yards per carry, already had a touchdown, and yet we're passing the ball on first down and 10. Should Jordan Love have thrown that all the way down the field? He threw an interception to Patrick Surtain. No, he should never throw that. Honestly, just never even throw at Pat Surtain. He's just by far the best DB in the league, and he will punish you if it's not a perfect pass. But we should be running the ball, bro. Like, we got to chew clock. We need a long, gritty drive and just finish it with a field goal. Even, like, when you're in a 9-point lead, why are we, like, I love going for the kill shot, right? But there's no reason to go for the kill shot in that scenario. Like why go for the kill shot when you can just bleed them out, right? It's a lot easier. So we should have ran the ball a lot more. Josh Jacobs is playing phenomenal. And Jordan Love struggled like a motherfucker in that second half. Bo Nix, on the other hand, he turned up against us. I think that was probably the best game of his NFL career. I could be wrong, but I don't know exactly his stats, but he had 4 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, and I think over 300 passing yards. So Bo Nix played spectacular. He did have like 4, I think, dropped interceptions by the Packers, so there is that to look at. But I mean, that's just like, we're talking about, you know, what ifs. That's not what happened. Like, he threw no interceptions. He threw 4 touchdowns. He was torching us. Cortland Sutton is that guy, and their team looks phenomenal. RJ Harvey has stepped up so much in the midseason, and their defense is another top 3 to 4 defense in the league. So their playoff hopes are number 1 in the AFC. I think they're probably a top 3 team in the league now. And Packers, on the other hand, I don't know where we're at. We lost our best defender. We're probably, like, our Super Bowl chances went from, like, there was a good chance that we make it to the Super Bowl and win to probably a fifth of that now that we lost Micah Parsons. And it's late season. We can't revamp our whole defense. So I don't know what we're going to do. But shouts out to the Broncos because they played phenomenal. And that game was a playoff game right there. And they straight up beat us. So Lions at the Rams. Now, this game had Game of the Year written all over it. And it was a good one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't know what to think about you. At times, you're my least favorite player in the NFL by far. Like, I think you're unsufferable. And sometimes I kind of like you. But no matter how I feel about you, I cannot deny that he is a menace on the football field. 13 receptions, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns, bro. Like, that's a ridiculous number. You clutched my fantasy playoffs. I love you for that. But the Lions are I think the Lions are by far the best team that is not currently in the playoffs. Like, here's the thing about the Lions. Their offense is disgusting. They probably have a top 6 offense in the league. Their defense is just, I'm not going to say awful. Their defense is just average. Like, it's not a playoff defense. It's not like they have good spots. They have Aiden Hutchinson, obviously. They have some good corners. They have, like, Terrion Arnold. But, like, it's just not complete. It's not a full defense. And that's the only thing. Like, if they make the playoffs, they could drop 50 and shit on you. But it's like, if you're allowing them to score like 20 or less points, you're probably going to win the football game because their defense is pretty average. But they're a very scary team. If they make the playoffs, I hope that I do not play against them because they can catch fire at any time. Rams, on the other hand, they've been my number 1 team for the past 3 weeks, and they continue to dominate. Matthew Stafford is the MVP frontrunner at the ripe age of 37. So there is that. But I do have to say, actually, Devontae Adams got injured. I haven't really seen how serious it is, but I saw it was a hamstring, so that's probably not good. I don't think he's coming back this year, but if he does, that's a huge get back. Like, losing him is terrible, so I hope he really comes back, because injuries are the worst thing in the NFL. All right. There is some other games I could cover. That's enough yapping for me, though. Final thoughts on just some other games. Cam Ward played super solid against the 49ers. Cam Ward hate is so forced. Give him time. He's a rookie. He's on the worst team in the league. Cam Ward's a great quarterback, and he has a lot of potential. Panthers continue to show that they're the most unpredictable team in the season. They beat teams like the Packers when we were healthy, and they just lost to the Cleveland Browns. So, not the Cleveland Browns. They lost to the New Orleans Saints. So, yeah, I don't know what to think about the Panthers. I really wanted them to make the playoffs, but now they're losing games like this, and I want to see Baker in the playoffs. So, we'll see. It's honestly still in their control. They play the Bucs 2 times in the last 3 weeks, so it's in their hands if they make the playoffs or not. J.J. McCarthy, I just watched this game, and he just put his nuts all in the Dallas Cowboys' face. Like, that was the best game of his career, 250 passing yards. I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like, he's had 2 really good, I'll say good, weeks in a row. Like, he started off terrible, got injured, came back, was still terrible. But J.J. McCarthy is playing well. He's got such a good supporting cast. Like, that Vikings team could very well be really good next year, especially if JJ keeps progressing and stacking games. But that's all I'm going to say. Monday Night Football has not happened. I don't even remember what it is. It's Dolphins versus Steelers, I think. But that's enough yapping. I hope you enjoyed my gameplay. And, yeah, I can't wait for next week to yap again. See y'all.